The crown of eternal sovereignty had chosen its kings for 3,000 years without error. It was a living artifact, sentient after its own fashion, capable of sensing worthiness in ways that transcended bloodline or politics. When the old king died without an heir, every noble family on Zaldar assumed the crown would choose one of their own. They were wrong. This is an outrage. Lord Vexamar's chromatophores flashed violent crimson as he pointed at the human boy standing frozen in the center of the throne room. A street urchin? A member of the servant species? Remove that crown at once. Finn O'Connor, age 14, wanted nothing more than to comply. He'd only entered the palace to deliver a message for his employer. Somehow, he'd gotten turned around in the corridors and stumbled into the choosing ceremony. The crown had been sitting on its ceremonial pillar, glowing softly when he'd walked past. Then it had launched itself at his head. Now it sat there, warm and immovable, pulsing with a golden light that made every noble in the chamber recoil. "I didn't do anything," Finn protested, his voice cracking. "I don't even want to be here." "The crown has malfunctioned," announced Lady Zireth, her multiple arms gesturing dismissively. 3 millennia of perfect service, and now it mistakes a human child for royalty? Preposterous. The high priest of the crown stepped forward, his ancient form trembling with either age or excitement. Finn couldn't tell which. "The crown does not malfunction. It chooses. It has chosen. Then we'll remove it by force," snarled Lord Vexamar, signaling to the royal guards. 3 guards approached Finn, their expressions apologetic but determined. The first reached for the crown. The moment his fingers touched the golden metal, energy crackled, and he was thrown backward across the marble floor. The second guard tried using an insulated tool. The crown simply grew brighter, and the tool melted in his hands. The third guard didn't even try. He just shook his head and stepped back. "This proves nothing," Lady Zireth hissed. "Perhaps the human is a spy, using some stolen technology to—" "Enough." The high priest's voice carried an authority that silenced even the nobles. He approached Finn slowly, studying the crown with ancient eyes. "Tell me, boy, what do you think makes a good king?" Finn blinked. Of all the questions he'd expected, that wasn't one of them. I don't know. Someone who cares about people. Someone who listens. My ma always said the measure of a person isn't where they're born, but what they do when someone needs help." "And what would you do if you were king?" "I'd make sure nobody went hungry," Finn said without hesitation. "I'd make sure kids could go to school instead of working in factories." He did. He trailed off, suddenly aware of how stupid he sounded. "But I'm just a delivery boy. I don't know anything about ruling." The high priest smiled, a genuine expression that transformed his weathered features. "The crown has not chosen wrong in 3,000 years. It chooses not based on knowledge, but on character, on worthiness, on the capacity for growth. This is madness." Lord Vexamar drew his ceremonial blade. "I will not bow to a human child." The crown flared brilliantly, and suddenly Finn felt it, not just as metal on his head, but as a presence in his mind. Ancient, patient, and utterly certain. It showed him things, memories of past kings, both noble and terrible. It showed him what the nobles had planned if one of them had been chosen. Political purges, wealth consolidation, the continuation of systems that kept people like Finn in poverty. Then it showed him what he could become. "I'm scared," Finn whispered. The crown's warmth intensified, reassuring. "You won't be alone," the high priest said gently. "The crown will guide you. I will advise you. And I suspect you'll prove to be exactly what this kingdom needs." Finn straightened his shoulders. He was 14, he was terrified, and he was wearing a magical crown that apparently thought he should be king. His mother would never believe this. "Okay," he said quietly, then louder. "Okay. If this thing won't come off, and if I'm stuck being king, then we're doing things differently, starting with feeding everyone in the lower districts." Lord Vexamar lunged forward with his blade raised. The crown blazed like a star, and the noble froze mid-step, held in place by invisible force. "And we're definitely going to have words about people who threaten children," Finn added, his voice steadier now. In the back of the throne room, a human servant smiled. Perhaps, she thought, the crown had chosen perfectly after all.